Hi, my name is Kivo, and I'd like to tell you what I've learned about wine transfer pumps. If you can do a vacuum transfer to rack wine, that's preferable in my mind. I use the vacuum pump on my pneumatic uh, bottler, and it works great. But for transferring wine to and from tanks, I needed a pump. So I bought this super transfer pump from More Wine. It's roughly $190 right now. So the super transfer pump it's variable speed, it's self-priming. The one I have has a 110 volt AC motor. It'll go up to 3 gallons per minute. It comes with a filter and a nice set of vinyl hoses. And the way it does its speed control, it uses an AC voltage regulator. So here's the super transfer pump. There's the motor. This is the pump housing, the filter. There's a pressure switch that shuts off the power to the motor. It's at the front of the pump here. As a caution, there's live electrical wire, a hot electrical wire underneath that cover. There's a large O-ring at the front of the pump near the pressure sensor. If you take the head apart, you need to make sure that O-ring is seated properly. So at the back of the motor, we have this housing. There's a potentiometer that has an on-off switch built in, and there's a little printed circuit board. If you flip that over, you'll see it's a very simple triac-based AC voltage regulator. So this pump works well, except the last time I used it, I clogged the filter. The pump ran dry and would not self-prime itself. I was in the middle of racking, so I had to finish racking by transferring into carboys using a vacuum pump and then dumping carboys into tanks. Definitely not ideal, and it was stressful. So after that, I thought, okay, I need to understand how this pump works. I need some redundancy. So I started looking online, and I realized that the super transfer pump is based on a standard pump, an FL41, which is a 4-stage diaphragm pump. The standard pump is not variable speed, and it goes up to 4.5 gallons per minute, and the pressure switch is rated at, or set to 40 psi. And if you look on eBay and Amazon, you'll see many companies who are marketing this FL41 pump. I bought the cheapest one I could find, this Yagoo. It's available both on eBay and Amazon right now. And this is what I bought. And here's the key thing, the model number, the FL41. This one is actually unbranded. So for $53 about, I got this pump. It includes the filter and hose fittings, the same as you get with the super transfer pump. And the pump head, this part fits onto the super transfer pump. And so then if I needed to, I could change heads. But I thought, well, why don't I go further? Why don't I see if I can convert this pump into a fully independent variable speed pump. So I took the pump apart and realized that it has a DC motor, not an AC motor. And it's a brushed DC motor. You can see that because there's 2 electrical leads going into the motor. And this particular unit uses an AC to DC voltage converter at the back here of the housing. And it's based on a bridge rectifier, that black slab underneath my finger. So then I had the unexpected challenge of having to regulate a DC motor. So I bought a model DC51 motor controller rated at 400 watts. It's 110 volt AC input, 0 to 90 volts DC output, and it was roughly $20. And this is that motor controller, DC51. It's got a nice on-off switch, potentiometer for the variable speed. This plastic box has bare electrical connections on the back, so I built a little wooden box to put it in. You could put it in a handy box or not worry about the electrical connections at all. And it works really well with this DC motor. The low speed control is very good, a very uniform speed, unlike the super transfer pump, which is rough at low speed. Okay, so I've got my independent pump now. And one other thing, so the way I wire this in, we've got AC line voltage into the motor controller. I've got DC coming out, and then into the as received motor cord for the pump, and then I just bypassed the voltage converter, so the hot line comes in, goes through the switch, and then directly to the pump. So what would happen if you got one of these pumps, you bought one and it came with an AC motor? Well, there's lots of AC motor controllers available. I like this one, even though I've not used it, because it comes in a nice module. It's got a power cord, a receptacle to plug into, a fuse, an on-off switch. It looks like it's 3-speed only, but actually it's variable speed. And there's supposed to be an internal pot you can get at to adjust the low speed. This is $20-some on Amazon or eBay. Harbor Freight has the same looking thing, same package, slightly lower current rating for even a lower price. So you can get it on sale at Harbor Freight. So there's yet other options in the same brand of pumps. There's an FL40 model, which has a 12-volt DC motor. So say you have a pretty hefty DC power supply from an old-fashioned laptop, you could hook up that power supply to a DC motor controller. There's lots of them on the market, and have a variable speed line transfer pump. The better controllers used pulse wave modulation. Oh, and also, there's nothing special about this line of pumps. These diaphragm water pumps are commodities. They're widely used in RVs and cabins and reverse osmosis systems. So you can look online and buy another brand of pump. If it claims it self-primes or generates a vacuum, it's almost assuredly a diaphragm pump. And finally, if you like to fix things rather than replace things, you can buy the replacement wearable parts for this super transfer pump. If you search on FL41 universal membrane, you'll find images like shown here. Here you see the 4 chambers of the pump. There's actually 2 wearable surfaces that join together in the pump, and it looks like the $28 price on eBay gets you both of those surfaces, both of those pieces. A caution though, I've not purchased this and tried that, but it probably would work. So that's what I learned. I've got 2 independent pumps, feeling like I'm ready for more adventure in transferring wine. This is my first and maybe my only video. So I hope you learned something. Bye.